Hey guys, welcome to A Fistful of Dice. My name is Matt, and this is the second episode of For a Few Dice More, the sort of impromptu, casual vlogging show where I just talk at the camera for a few minutes about what's going on with the channel, what's going on in my gaming life, stuff to look out for in the community, etc., etc. This is going to be definitely a brief update, and it's also going to be basically an update of me saying I don't have a lot going on with the channel right now. For those of you who are not aware, I'm getting married in less than 2 months. Tila and I are getting married in August, early August, and so we are in full-on get ready for the wedding mode. For the most part, we've got everything figured out, but it's like little details here and there, you know? It's like figuring out, I can't even think of an example, but most of my free time is being taken up with that. On top of that, family in town, because it's the summertime, you know, getting together, trying to get together with friends. We have some friends who are going to be moving to the other side of the coast, the other side of the country here in about a month, so we're trying to get as much time in with them as possible. And honestly, I haven't had a lot of time to run games or play in games, but there's been a few sort of pockets of gaming here and there. A couple weeks ago, or I guess, was it just last week? Yeah, it was just last week we had our first session, Call of Cthulhu, using the Ubiquity system, the, I think it's called Hollow Earth Expedition, with Alex, Captain Gothnog, Rob the Swamper, Barker, Be a Better Game Master, and myself. Really, really fun session. It was a modern-day Cthulhu. It was actually the first modern-day RPG I've ever played. Like, the closest I've got is like 1930s Call of Cthulhu. So having it be modern was interesting because, you know, it's like cell phones exist, you know, modern technology exists, the internet exists, and so it was definitely an interesting experience, but a very cool experience, and a really, really fun session. My character is like he's like a former, what do they call, Blackpool or Blackwater mercenary, basically. So he's like a merc, and he's like former airborne, so he used to be a paratrooper. And the concept I came up with him is, his name is Deadmouth, and the concept was basically that like there was a botched jump, or like he you know, calculated his jump wrong basically, and he ended up like descending through this plume of burning oil, and breathing in the fumes of that oil was totally hazardous to his health. It actually like completely deadened his sense of smell and taste, and so he can't really smell or taste anything, and so that's what he earned him the moniker Deadmouth. But Rob and Barker are both playing very like cerebral characters. Well, I get Rob's character is like an outdoorsman, but I just wanted a guy who shot stuff. And I was a little iffy on that going into a Call of Cthulhu game, because normally if you create a character like that, it's like, you know, oh, I'm a gangster, or, you know, I'm a you know, former soldier, you know, I'm good at guns, I'm good at fighting stuff. You don't see a lot of action, but I killed 2 Sasquatch in the session. Like, the Ubiquity system, it's based on odds and evens, so evens are successes, odds are not, and so you're trying to roll as many evens as possible on a number of dice, and the number of dice correspond to how good you are at the skill. I rolled 15 dice on my rifle skill because I had really good dexterity, and I put a bunch of points into firearms, and then I put a bunch of points into the rifle specialization, and then I took a couple of things that added to it as well. Like I took it was called a I can't remember. They're like feats basically, but I took this feat that gave me another +2 when I fire full auto. So I was seriously just gunning down Sasquatch left and right. So it was pretty awesome though, and we're gonna have a part 2 of that session, I think, next week. So that'll be really cool. And there's a link down below to go watch that game and check that game out. So other stuff that I've been doing with gaming, I've been reading up on Fate. Really wanting to get into Fate. I really like the system, what I've seen of it. I've been watching a lot of live plays of Fate, and also watching Matters of Fate over at the Red Dice Diaries, link down below, where he goes over the basics of the system, both Fate Core and Fate Accelerated. Fate Accelerated, for those of you who don't know, is the Fate core rules, but completely stripped down. It's a total pick up and play system. The book is like 50 pages long, and it's basically just meant to, like, you want to play a game with like very little prep with your friends who have never played an RPG before, Fate Accelerated. I mean, the character sheet is, you know, that's the character sheet. Not a whole lot going on in it. So the appeal of Fate, though, is it's kind of like a Savage World. It's like genre agnostic, basically, so I can do whatever I want with this system. I mean, on the front, you've got a fantasy rogue, a cybernetic gorilla martial artist, and like a PI gangster-looking guy. You know, on the Fate Accelerated, you've got a air pirate cat person, a wizard, and like a airbender type person, and then on the back you have like a gadgeteer. So it's a very like open-ended, like do whatever you want type system, because it doesn't have a bunch of finicky rules for equipment and magic and stuff like that. Like you plug in what you want to this framework, and it just kind of works, you know what I mean? So really excited to get started with this. I'm trying to talk either Barker or James from Tabletop Terrors into running some Fate for me at some point, and then I will most definitely run some on the channel when things calm down for me a bit. But and I also picked up the Fate System Toolkit, because, you know, this is, you know, very bare bones rules. It's, like I said, it's a very like kind of just tight framework, and this doesn't allow you, but it basically gives you ideas for, you know, modifying skills, creating your magic systems, implementing like races and classes into a system if you wanted to, you know. So this is definitely a cool book too. So anyway, so yeah, Fate has been happening. I forgot to grab this, but I got so Avenger Satanis, he's a fellow YouTuber. He's a just awesome dude, all around awesome dude. This guy's old school. He puts out a lot of awesome RPG content through his publishing company, Corthalis Publishing, and he had a Kickstarter for this book. Yeah, so I backed it naturally, because look at the title. So I backed it, and it was the quickest Kickstarter I've ever received. Venger did it completely right. Like, he had the book mostly completed by the time he actually put the Kickstarter live, and so the Kickstarter was, I just need money to produce this and put art in it, and then it's good to go. So I've been reading through it, and it is awesome. I love the way that it's laid out. It's not laid out in a traditional sense, but it's also not difficult to find what you're looking for. You know, it can be used as like a sit down and read it book, but it's also good for quick reference. There is a ton of different roll tables, charts, really cool way, like very similar to like Game Master roll charts for coming up with magic items and monsters and encounters and conflicts and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's just awesome. And it's printed on, I don't know how to describe the feel of the paper, but it's not glossy at all. It's almost rough paper. It feels really cool. So I've been enjoying, it's like coloring paper. Does that make sense? Do you know the texture I'm talking about? That's kind of what it is, but I like it. I like it. And the art in it is just really awesome, kind of old school, you know, art. So definitely check it out, and keep an eye on Corthalis Publishing. They're on DriveThru RPG. Venger does awesome stuff. So follow the link down below for more of his stuff. I'll link his channel and also the DriveThru RPG page for Corthalis Publishing. So yeah, I haven't been doing a ton of gaming lately, unfortunately, just because I have been so busy. And it's not bad busy, like it's good busy. You know, I'm visiting with family and, you know, getting ready for the wedding and stuff like that. So it seems like this summer is going to be fairly gaming light for me, unfortunately, and that's just how things are right now. I haven't had any time at all really to sit down and film videos or edit videos. I have a couple more hours of Iron Lords of Zakesh sitting on my computer right now, but I just haven't had time to actually get over there and edit. I'm gonna try and do some editing tonight if I can before bed. But But yeah, I have more Iron Lords of Zakesh that needs to get out there. I have another episode of Monster Matters on Undead pretty much ready to go. I just need to finish up the editing and upload it. And there's a couple other videos that I filmed about a month and a half ago. I filmed about 8 or 9 videos in a big batch, and I've just been sort of editing them as I need them. So I've got a couple of those left over as well. So, yeah, so basically what you can expect from the channel in the next few weeks is like not a whole lot. I'm going to be trying to stay active as much as possible in the community, responding to comments, answering people's questions when I can. And I'll make sure and post regular updates to the Fistful of Dice Facebook page, which there's a link down in the description to that as well, and also on my Twitter. But for the most part, updates are going to be kind of intermittent, and content going up on the channel is not going to be regular, at least for the next few weeks. But I am trying to keep the channel a priority right now, but just real life is just kicking me in the butt right now. There's just so much going on. So, but yeah, anyway, I'm not going to yammer on too long, so I don't have to edit a bunch of stuff of me trying to figure out what I'm going to say next out. But yeah, definitely expect more from me. Hopefully we can get another Provokers game going here in June. I'm not sure. I haven't even started scheduling that stuff out yet. It's been so, you know, so far out there. So, but yeah, anyway, thanks for listening to me yammer for, what, 12 minutes? So, hope you guys are doing well. Hope your games are going well. And leave a comment down below with your favorite gaming moment since I made the last For a Few Dice More. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Take care and happy gaming all.